RTD's Service Development Division, which operates under the Chief Operations Officer, is responsible for implementing RTD's service changes, which happen 3 times a year. To shine some light on a little-known department with huge responsibilities, service planners and schedulers Mo Sullivan and Sage Thornbrew offered an inside look at the service change process.
So service changes go into effect the 3 times a year, so usually in August, January, and May, based on a school schedule, so that we can allocate our resources as efficiently as possible.
So why does RTD make service changes 3 times a year? We do that in order to keep consistency for both operators and for the public, but it also gives every 3 months the opportunity for public feedback, and it also allows for the operators to change their votes for their work.
So when we do make these service changes, the way that we choose the routes that are being changed or adjusted or maybe even cut, we follow our board-approved service standards to make those adjustments. And so when we're looking at these routes, we really look at ridership and on-time performance, and that's data that we gather. And we'll also go out and ride those routes to see what are those issues if we're not able to figure that out from the data. And then we sort of make adjustments based on that, and those are the proposed changes. And then of course we go out to the public to see what they think about those proposed changes.
What is the process for public input? It's important to remember that we accept public input year-round. That can be in the form of an email, it can be a phone call, it can be submitted at public hearings, but specifically when it comes to the service change process, we submit our tentative changes to the board. After that, we go out for public meetings. We take in all the feedback in all its different formats. We go back to the board for final approval, and then basically from there, it's all about scheduling.
So I think one thing that we're frustrated by, and that our passengers are probably frustrated by as well, is that we have to deal with averages. So we have to schedule for what is the average time it takes to get from point A to point B, or the average amount of people on a particular trip. We can't be on every vehicle at every time of day, and so we really do rely on that feedback from our customers who are experiencing those schedules so that we can make the most appropriate changes.
Some of the things that people might not know about our department, specifically in RTD, is that specifically here at the Blake offices, there's no parking options down here, so we are out on public transportation every day. We see the issues that people are facing, and we see the strengths and weaknesses of the systems, and we're constantly taking that into account. Another thing is that people maybe think that service changes are a little arbitrary, or they don't quite know everything that goes into it, and it's an extremely lengthy and complicated process with many deadlines. Our department does a lot more than people know.
So we're a pretty small but mighty group.